everybody, it's Megan and welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Today we head off to Ireland to talk about The Irish Goodbye by Amy Ewing. Fun fact about me, I actually got the opportunity to study abroad in Ireland back in 2007, I think. It was 2007, I know it was, because it was after I graduated from college, which is when the scarf collection started. Ireland is back there. I loved Ireland. I studied in Bray, which is just a little bit south of Dublin, and has no connection to the book I'm about to talk about, but I wanted to share because Ireland is special and magical and just like the coolest place. Our book, The Irish Goodbye, takes place on the Aran Islands in a very small kind of like fishing village, tourist town type place, because honestly, the waters around Ireland in the winter, not a place you want to be. The ferries don't run. It can be brutal around there. So we're not in Dublin. We're not on the East Coast. We are on the west coast of Ireland. And our main characters are Cordelia and Niall. Of course, he's named Niall. It's like the most Irish name, I think, other than like Owen or something. But Cordelia is actually from New York. Dad had passed away about a year ago, and ever since then, she's just felt adrift. And she is a photographer. She's like a well-renowned street photographer and has like a huge following on Instagram. But lately, like photography just hasn't been hitting for her. She'll like sit around and take pictures and she'll be like, all these suck. And her camera is one her dad gave her before he passed. And it's like an old school like film. I don't know if it's film. It must not be film because she does Instagram and digital. But either way, it's an old school camera with fancy aperture for my hairy girlies, cameras with apertures, and just all kinds of other like cool features. It's a proper camera, not just a phone. And so she decides that she needs a reset. And she's like, I'm going to go to Ireland for the summer and stay at a cottage and like help this older lady and, you know, just hang out and try to like rediscover photography. So she heads off. Kudos to her. Love it. Ireland's a great choice to go and rediscover yourself. And she really early on meets Niall. She doesn't know it's Niall yet, but she's getting off the ferry and there's this like grumpy guy and they run into each other. She runs into him. He runs into her. Said camera breaks, drops on the dock, breaks. She's devastated. And he's like, it's just a camera. And she's like, you don't understand, you dick. And they go about their merry way. And then really quickly realize that they are going to continue to cross paths because this is a small town and everybody knows everybody because you're on an island. And it's very much kind of, I wouldn't even say grumpy sunshine. I think they're both kind of grumpy. But if you had to pick one, Cordelia is definitely the sunshine. And really quickly, she's like, I'm kind of falling for Niall. Niall's trying to get over an ex who he was going to open a business with, and like all of his dreams were going to come true. He's going to own a restaurant and all these things. And then she runs off with the contractor and like steals their restaurant. And it's like an ugly breakup. His dad owns the pub in town. And his dad is very like Irish traditional food. And Niall's like, we can do so much more. And so there's a lot of like headbutting between Niall and his dad. And a lot of just discourse, which you see played out across multiple meals and multiple dinners and just kind of their interactions with each other. Cordelia blends into town really quickly. People kind of take her under their wing and they're like, why are you here for 3 months? Like, what the hell are you doing? And she's like, I'm just trying to find, you know, myself again and just enjoy life. And I don't even know who fell first. I think they fell for each other kind of at the same time. But they were both very like, no, I can't. Like, I just broke up with somebody and I can't possibly have feelings for anybody else because I'm not in a space. And you're like, everybody can see it. You love each other a little bit. So there is a little bit of that. He really steps up and kind of becomes her tour guide when other people can't. And you just really start to see both of their walls starting to break down and being like open to the idea of liking each other and being around each other. And it's super sweet. Delia's relationship with her mother is also really tense in a different way than Niall's is tense with his dad, but it's still kind of that parent dynamic. After Cordelia's father passed away, her mom like did grieving. She grieved. It was her husband, but she got back out there and got a new boyfriend. And Cordelia just like is not having it. And she's just like, nope, can't. Mom can't date because that means she forgets about dad. And I'm not going to let that happen. So she's kind of a bitch to her mom and her mom's boyfriend. And her sibling keeps telling her, like, give mom some slack, dude. Like, she has a life too. Like, you are holding on too tight. And I've never lost a parent, so I can't speak to that wanting to like hold on so tight. But I can imagine that that's a fairly normal response. But the rest of her family is like, yes, you can hold on, but you don't need to stop life to hold on. And so that's kind of an ongoing message for her with her family. And her mom, surprise, comes and visits. And they actually have like a really great talk. It was kind of tense for a little while. And then Cordelia does realize, like, oh, I have been a heinous bitch to my mother, and given her a really hard time and not made this process any easier for her. So you start to see those walls come down within her own family as well. Niall's dad lets him add something to the pub menu, which is a huge success. And really because Cordelia called his dad on the carpet. Cordelia was like, dude, your son's a great chef. Why don't you like stop sucking and like let him put something on the menu for this big festival we have coming up? And she talks about like how great of a cook he is and really forces his dad to admit that he's being kind of a jerk, and digging his heels in unnecessarily. And the food is a hit that everybody goes to this pub to eat anyway, because there's, a small town, there's one pub. But people start like raving about Niall's food and his cooking. And then his dad starts to realize like, okay, I can still hold on to my traditional pub, but like spice it up a little bit. The big third act breakup, and actually probably one of my favorite third act breakups. Spoiler alert from here on out. Really, spoiler alert anytime I'm doing reviews, but whatever. Because it was very real. It didn't feel like it wasn't a miscommunication. It wasn't something that you kind of read and go, oh, of course. I liked it because it was two adults looking at things kind of logically, even though they made like a dumb choice, like they couldn't see the forest through the trees. Niall's ex-girlfriend, yeah, I know, I yelled at my book when she reappeared, comes to the island and is like, hey, this guy wants to open another version of your restaurant. I broke up with a guy I cheated with, but I really need you to come run your restaurant because this bigwig only wants you if it's your restaurant. And Cordelia and him are like, well, what do we do now? Because we're head over heels. Like, you can't not go to London and do this. Like, you have to go open this restaurant. It's your dream. She's getting calls now that her Instagram's like taken off again because she's been posting and all these kind of things and people are loving her content again. She's gotten a call to go do a big coffee table book, her second coffee table book, and back in New York. And they both are like, this sucks, but like we have to go do these things because if we don't do these things, we're going to regret it forever. Why they didn't just say, hey, why don't we just have a long distance relationship? The reader and everyone in town asked the same question. But she let him go. She kind of lied to him actually to get him to go, which like breaks your heart when you're watching it because you're just like yelling at them. Like, why can't you just be long distance? Like, come on, you can do this. It's not that serious. It is 2025 or 24. I don't remember when this book came out. There's technology, there are ways, but you see that struggle of like, this is both of our dreams and neither one wanted to hold the other one back. And so that was super cute. I didn't take a whole lot of notes on this book because I was just in it for the vibes. I read it for Romance Book Club and I'm so glad we did. It was super cute. I gave it 4 hot chocolates because I am reading with hot chocolate. And on this page, I grade in hot chocolates rather than stars because it's more fun. But overall, if you're looking for a little Irish escape, a little book for the vibes in these cold winter months, hey, you can read it at St. Patrick's Day if you want, if it makes you feel better. Definitely check out The Irish Goodbye by Amy Ewing. And it just sent me right back. Like, I was ready to pack my bags and be like, I gotta go to Ireland. I gotta go find a guy in a pub. I gotta get out of the States. I gotta go. And I actually had tagged Amy on Instagram and I said I felt like I wanted to pack my bags and run away back to Ireland. She's like, great, that was the goal. So mission accomplished, Amy. Loved it a lot. I was here for the vibes. I was here for a little step back into Ireland, even though it was a different part of Ireland than where I lived. But overall, really great little romance. 4 hot chocolates. Go check it out. You'll enjoy it, I promise. And if you do read it, let me know in the comments. And also, where is a location that you love books to be set? What country? Is there a country, a place, a fantasy land that you love to get lost in? Let me know in the comments where you'd like to get lost in a book. All right, that's it for today. Stay warm out there, everybody, and I'll see you again real soon. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications so you never miss a video.